I've known Sting for a long, long time and always been one hell of a nice guy. So I just wish that they would have did the retirement a little bit different, let him went out on his own.
Teddy, we lost somebody else to the business, but not in the same way. We lost Sting recently to the business as he is retired now. His final match in AEW, just a couple of days removed from this podcast that we're recording right now. And he went out as a tag team champion, an AEW tag team champion. His career, I thought, was well represented in this display that they put on in AEW. I think the entire package for the night was well done, despite the fact that I had a lot of trepidation about the match and how it might go and my feelings. I actually found myself reminiscing quite a bit and enjoying the match. Teddy, how about you?
I didn't see any of it.
Oh no!
You know, like I tell you, I don't watch AEW, so I didn't see any of it. So I just want to say congratulations to Sting because I had the opportunity to work with him when I first broke in. I was refereeing. I refereed a lot of him and Luger's matches. So I've known Sting for a long, long time and always been one hell of a nice guy. So I just wish that they would have did the retirement a little bit different, let him went out on his own. He didn't need all that extra fanfare, you know what I mean? Just let him go out on his own. Let him be his own star for that particular night, but, you know, whatever. But congratulations to you, Sting, and the wrestling world is certainly going to miss you.
Bill, what do you think?
Mac, I feel the way you felt. I didn't want it to happen in a tag team match, but it was great. It was great. Ric Flair was there, Nikita Koloff, Magnum TA, and so many others.
Scotty Riggs was there, who was going through some transformations.
Right, but the best thing was at the beginning of the match, when he was making his entrance, one of his sons came out dressed as the Surfer Sting. The other one came out as Sting with the baseball bat, and then Sting came out, and the crowd popped all three versions of Sting.
That first version that popped out, Bill, I'm just going to pop in real fast, but that first version, when Surfer Sting hit the stage, they shot it from a ways back, so you're not sure what you're seeing at the time. You almost feel like
I thought it was him.
Brought back his face paint from the early days.
I did.
His son looked so much like him.
Just like him. And then the tag team match, you know, Sting said that he wanted the Young Bucks to be the opponents to go out on this. And even after the match, he said what a great match it was. He did high spots. He went through a table. He did everything was so right. And, you know, the Young Bucks, of course, put them over. And I knew Sting, actually, Eddie Gilbert introduced me to him back in Bill Watts territory, way, way, way back. So I want to thank him for also being a personal friend and also making a hell of a career for you and me and everybody else to watch.
You know that mask you have on your face. I'll tell you a memory I have of Sting. He came through at the height of the Sting in the Rafters when he wasn't speaking. All he was doing was appearing in the rafters. I was at a show in Macon, Georgia, and I have never asked for an autograph from anybody, really. Because of the way that I was introduced to the business, I just never felt like asking or taking pictures with guys. It just wasn't my thing. And I did ask the promoter at that time, Chip Burnham. I said, Chip, any chance you can get a Sting mask signed by Sting? He did, and Sting agreed, and I actually got to say hey to him briefly. All of a sudden, I have a flood at my house, and what gets ruined, but that mask is one of the many things that I lost, and I hated that, but that was just the only autograph I've ever wanted for whatever reason, because he was the hero I grew up with.
I'm going to tell you something with a hero. When my son Brandon was probably about 8 or 9 years old, I took him to a WCW show. He was a little Stinger. And after Sting's match, whoever he wrestled, I took Brandon in his dressing room, and Sting was just getting changed. And he said, "Who's this guy?" I said, "It's my son Brandon." He said, "Come here, sit down." And he started asking Brandon about his schoolwork and about his friends, nothing to do with wrestling. And still to this day, they still stay in touch. That's what a good guy he is. And when he won the the world championship from Ric Flair.
Mhm.
He and his wife at that time, nobody had ever done this, and we don't accept gifts. But he sent, when the magazine came out, he sent a bouquet of flowers to the staff to thank us for helping make his career. What a Class A guy.
Yep. But let me talk about one more aspect of that match. We could talk about that match all night long and different things, but I do want to bring up one part of that match that had me a little concerned. Darby Allin went to the top of a ladder, and this was a huge high, just high in the air kind of ladder. And he does a backdrop onto a plane of glass that is laid across chairs. It ends up after the spot itself looked fantastic. The glass just went everywhere. And when he rolled over, you're thinking, they used sugar glass. They used real glass for this spot. He was just bloody. His whole back was just red.
Bleeding profusely. Yeah. It wasn't just red. It was blood coming out.
Well, let me read something that the coach wrote. And coach said this in a tweet. He said, an X. Okay, AEW, come after me. This is bananas and so unnecessary. Can someone please teach the writers and Tony Khan that if you tell a good story, you don't have to do that crap and damn near kill yourself? Other than Mick Foley, find any videos of a top star from WWE doing anything this reckless. I am all about getting talked about after a show, but my God, if he hits one of those chairs, he could have paralyzed himself and broken his back. Tell a story and make the fans care. Then this won't have to happen or even be talked about doing.
Who is this?
This is the coach. Coachman.
Jonathan Coachman.
Jonathan Coachman, yes, sir. And he points out a very good fact.
Well,
I don't understand why can't you use sugar glass that is much safer than real glass, and you get the same effect. The other problem I have with it too, when you watch it back in slow motion, when he hits that plane of glass, the glass shatters and spreads out. It goes upwards and out. Some of the people in the front row were hit by the glass. That's not a good idea. You can't. If he got cut by the glass, so can they. Teddy, your thoughts?
I think you guys are just wasting your time and wasting air even talking about these guys. So, like I said, I don't watch it, and I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Well, let me say something that bothered me, is that after he was all cut up, I think they took him to the back, but he came out 5 minutes later with huge blobs of blood on his back, and he acted like nothing happened. And it was genuine. It was real. It was absolutely real. I think sometimes that some of the wrestlers, he did that coffin drop off that top. And I think sometimes they're just looking for that, oh my God, did you see moment from the other guys and the fans?
But WWE back in the early days, Attitude Era, they could do stunts like that, in a wrestling match. But they weren't that freaking dangerous, except for the time when Shane McMahon went through the glass and it was not the right kind of glass they actually installed. But other than that,
it's a different era, different mentality. These guys, the younger guys, are daredevil. Darby Allin has just gotten cleared by his doctor to climb Mount Everest. The guy is a daredevil. They probably said we can use fake glass, whatever, and he said, no, the real thing. I'll bet you that's what happened.
I just wonder who should be making that decision, the talent or somebody in the company.